So I'm going to take you on a little voyage, oh creative people, through classrooms. This is some grade 3s, and also into some board games that I've developed over the past years. You're now in my grade 4 classroom, and you have to figure out what was I trying to do here. The grade 4 students get 5 minutes. You guys get an extra 5 seconds.
Are the color lines, each color add up to a certain number?
Very good points to the woman in the blue. Yes, so that adds up to 100. Any other people wanting to just gaze and get some more information? So what is true of these numbers? You're thinking of a grade 4 classroom.
3 times, 4 times, 5 times.
These are square numbers. That's correct. I was trying to match up numbers in pairs from 1 to 60 so that every pair added to a square number. Did I succeed? No. This is an example of me failing. This puzzle won the Math Association of America George Polya Award in 2016, and I think it's a great example of a mathematician failing. I spent an hour doing this. Do you think there's a solution to this? Hands up. People, yeah, there's a solution to this. One person. Yeah, there might be more than one. There are actually 4,300,000 solutions to this, and I failed to find one in an hour. So there's me failing. Designing board games and designing math puzzles, it's the same skill set. Santorini, I designed in 1985, the basic rules for the game. You look at the packaging, that packaging is not done by me. It's done by a genius designer, Gavin Brown, here in Calgary. What I bring is the mechanisms. I work on the mechanisms for games really hard. For Santorini, the mechanism is bite-sized. This is all it is. Take one of your pieces, you move it, and then around that piece, you build. Whenever you're moving, you can move up a maximum of 1 level. You win whenever you get to the 3rd level. Very, very simple rules. It's the simplicity and the elegance of that system which makes the game beautiful at the start. And then you start to add on different flavors, God cards that allow you to break the rules of the game in different ways. Let's bring that creative spark to the math classroom. Here is a very exciting worksheet. Look at that. You add on a snowman, you add on a Christmas tree. Creative, right? So this is havefunteaching.com. No, we don't want to advertise that. So what I'm looking for whenever I'm bringing a puzzle to the math classroom is something that is mathematically deep, not just a superficial veneer. This is an unsolved problem of mathematics from 1967. And this is just one instance of it. This one is solvable, so you're going to see how to solve this. You get to add the numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 into these circles. Let's say that you go like this. Then you look at the differences between any 2 connected circles. So for example, 9 minus 1, that's 8. 9 minus 5, that's 4. 5 minus 3, that's 2. And if all of these differences are different, you've won. You get to ride the emu. But we failed. Okay, so this is a grade 3 classroom. This is essential for every grade 3 student in the world learning subtraction. This is how you learn subtraction. This is interesting. How are we going to do this? Obviously, we did not put those original numbers in the right place. Any ideas? I'll give you guys 10 seconds to switch 2 numbers. 1 and 7. That would lead us. No, that doesn't work. 10 seconds is up. You've all failed. And this does work. This is just one example of what would work. So all of the numbers are different. You can successfully ride the emu now. Of course, after kids solve one puzzle, now they're motivated to see what other puzzles are out here. This one's actually easier than the emu. If you put the 1 or the 11 in the middle, you're guaranteed to have solved it. So there's a solution. But you can see that these can become very difficult puzzles very fast. The rules for making one of these puzzles: all of the circles must be connected to each other. There can be no loops. Those are the only 2 rules. Then you're putting numbers, consecutive odd integers, into those circles. And you're looking at the differences. The unsolved problem of mathematics from 1967: are all of these puzzles possible to solve? Up till now, the answer has been yes. Every puzzle that we've come up with, we can solve it. But these puzzles become extremely difficult, even for a computer to solve, if you're dealing with 30, 40 circles. Never mind 1,000 circles. Are these all possible? This is an important unsolved problem in an area of mathematics called graph theory. Yet, it is the perfect pedagogic tool to teach every child in the world subtraction. And you can imagine that nasty little spiders inspire those that half of the classroom that's got too much testosterone. I'm also going to give a smattering of creativity from, as a teacher. Birds should not teach bats how to fly. Yet too many teachers, if you give them this as an exercise to teach this unsolved problem, they will go and they will work at this at home and they will try to solve it. And so that they can go into the class the next day and they already know the answer. Oh, thank goodness I already know the answer to this. Now I can help my kids solve it. Wrong. You want to be bats as teachers. You don't want to know the answer going into the class. You want to be flying blind, just like your students. Way more exciting. Beauty over truth. So again and again, you look at this and you just cry out, where is the beauty? As a mathematician, you probably think of me as someone who wants truth. No. I want beauty. I want to express the beauty of mathematics. And this is not it. So, Piet Mondrian, born in 1872, and you look at his works, you're art critics now 100 years ago, and you say, no. This won't do. You've got 2 rectangles there that are the same dimensions. You're going to help him. You're going to say, no. Whenever you're creating your artwork, you can no longer have 2 rectangles the same dimensions. Of course, you can have rectangles of the same area that are different dimensions. That's fine. But you're going to, you can see that Piet Mondrian is going to really appreciate your feedback here. So you tell him, this is a work that I can accept. Here we have all rectangles, different dimensions. You like this. You tell him, okay, I'm going to help you even more, you say. I'm going to score each piece of your artwork. I'm going to say your score for this is your largest area minus your smallest area. So in this case, we have 9 minus 1. You're going to score that an 8. And the lowest score that you can get, that's what you want to aim for, Mondrian. You can see him just lapping this feedback up. This is the best that Mondrian can do for this 4x4 canvas. 6 minus 2 is 4. That's the lowest that he can get. But you can imagine this puzzle becomes difficult. This is the best that I could do after searching for quite a while on an 11 by an 11. And no child has yet found the optimum. Now, I was thinking I should just leave you guys in the dark here as to what the best one is. But a computer search, I don't do computer searches, but I do like the results, the beautiful results that they produce. Here is the optimal solution for 11 by 11. You get a score of only 6. I think I could probably spend a week looking for this, and I'm not sure I would find it. So difficult to find, but so interesting in the math classroom to give your child the 12 by 12. They're not going to solve it. You're not going to solve it. So you can have a competition between your class and the class next door. Which class collectively, collaboratively, can come up with the most the lowest score and maybe the most beautiful piece of artwork to go with that score. Pythagoras. So again, for that half of the classroom that's got too much testosterone, you throw in that Theseus has to go and kill a minotaur in the lower left corner here. And each step that Theseus takes through this colonnade room of columns, each step has to be longer than the one before. So this is my first attempt. And I managed to get to the minotaur in 15 steps. You're trying to use the most steps possible. The steps can't intersect. Remember that Ariadne gave Theseus a string? Well, that string would get all tangled if those paths intersected. So you must be really careful that you don't do that. So 15, that looks pretty good. But sooner or later, a child will discover a much better solution. Here is one that will be discovered in your math classroom. Now, this is so beautiful. This has got to be optimal, right? It's 16 steps. It's got, like, can you imagine doing better than that? Actually, you can. And that's what's really boggling, is that you look at this and you say, that's got to be the best possible. A computer search, again, has found that this is the best possible, 20 steps. This would take at least a week to, this might take a year for you to find this. Very difficult, but fun. And you don't have to know the optimal answer. This is a great way to just erase the possibility of knowing the possible answer. If you go high enough, no computer can solve this if you go high enough. But even just a 5 by 5 is a beautiful introduction to Pythagoras for your math classroom. Time for me to show you another board game. This one is an utter failure in the marketplace, and I don't care one whit. First of all, I just want you to enjoy watching the game being played without knowing any of the rules. First of all, you see that it's a continuous placement game, not a discrete placement game like nearly all games. I'll take you to the end. Here, white has won. This is a connection game. White has to connect up the white region to the white region. Black has to connect up black to black. I'll just show you the core mechanism, which is so beautiful. If you are joining, making a perimeter like this, that perimeter must have a majority. It must be either mostly white or mostly black. So this is a legal move. And that turns that region all white. This move is illegal because this is 6 black and 6 white on the perimeter. Such a simple rule, and yet this is the core element of this game. And it turns out to lead to much complexity. Simple rules leading to complex, interesting results. That is what I'm looking for in math puzzles, because that's what makes it interesting for me as a mathematician. I want, whenever I design a game or a puzzle for a grade 1 classroom, I don't want to know the answer. I want to be curious. We're going to do another game here. This one I use in kindergarten, and you're all going to participate. I want you to think of a number. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay, everyone's thought of a number. Close your eyes. Everyone thinking of the number 0, raise your hand. Everyone thinking of the number 1, raise your hand. Number 2, raise your hand. Number 3, raise your hand. We've got 3 number 3s. You have all lost the game. You can open your eyes. Anyone with number 4, raise your hand. We've got a single number 4. You win. You are the person that chose the lowest number that nobody else chose. We're going to play it again. Everyone. Okay, choose a number. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, close your eyes. Everyone choosing a 0. Raise your hand. We've got 1, 0. You have won the game. Okay. So what is beautiful about this for kindergarten is the game takes about 10 seconds. You can imagine that there's a lot of kids that have a fear of failure. They hate losing a game. Here, they don't have a chance. They don't have a chance to pout because immediately they're down on the ground, covered up. This game is called Rock. They're covered up, and again, they get to play. And they lose again. Well, sorry, no time to lament. Back down, playing again. So it's really, really fast. And the answer, you can see it's not obvious what number to choose. Okay? One of my best game designs ever for a math classroom. Simple. I'm not going to explain the rest of this one here. I'm not going to explain it. I just want you to appreciate this is interesting looking. You just are drawn in and you go, what's going on? I'm not telling you. This one here, I will tell you. Is something missing? Yes. Something is missing. What is it? This one maybe I will go into a little bit more. But I'll let you have 10 seconds to try to come up with an idea. And you all fail. You notice I use the word failure. The best way to unleash creativity in the math classroom is to remove the stigma of failure. And the way you do that, starting in kindergarten, is you give kids lots of experience of failure, especially the top kids in your class. We handicap our top kids all the time by mollycoddling them and getting them accelerated through the curriculum so they hop, skip, and jump, success to success to success, hit university, splat. What's missing here? This is missing. What on earth is going on here? This is non-commutative multiplication. 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. You'll notice that there's 2 dots inside 3 dots, inside another 3 dots, inside these big 5 dots. 2 and 3 and 3 and 5. 2 and 3 and 5 and 3. 2 and 5 and 3 and 3. 3 and 2 and 3 and 5. And there are 12 of these patterns. Non-commutative multiplication. Lastly, I'm going to show you and not explain another prime number catacombs. This was not designed by me. This was designed by a mathematician called William Paulson. And it's beautiful. And I won't tell you anything more. These puzzles belong worldwide. These are some kids in Beijing working on one of my puzzles. This makes me happy to help out kids in a small way worldwide and to give the joy of a beautiful game for people to play. Thank you.